There we all are. I'm rusty tonight, boys.
Oh wait, are we all in now? We're not
We're
getting
all in
introduced.
now.
No,
No, everybody's just in. This is totally different format. Totally
different format.
That's it. Oh, J-Man swung in real quick. What's up,
Ding
J-Man?
dong.
What's up, J-Man?
If you guys don't like horror, go check out his wrestling podcast or his live stream he's doing right now that I forgot about on. I'm sorry, brother.
Charlie,
good job, Charlie.
Live stream.
I'll go over and say hi and leave a like. So it'll
Way
be
to
fun.
double book yourself.
Yes, but you must know, it is time.
It is time.
It is time.
Okay. It's time, huh? All right. Well,
yeah, that's what Pinhead said in this.
Okay, I believe you.
God.
I watched the movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched the movie. We're not there yet. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again for another night of live stream. It's been almost exactly a month since we've done this, and it's like our third one. So
last month we did a bad movie that no one watched.
Yeah.
It went out and everyone forgot it exists. Move on.
It's crazy. Oh, look, J-Man's changing his schedule just for us, man.
Wow.
Started early.
Man.
That's it, man. Everybody go check out J-Man's channel. I need to learn how he does all the links for people in descriptions. I'll get with him on how to do that. We also got Pete for the first time on our live stream tonight.
Good evening, Hellblazers and Hellraisers. How goes it tonight? Wow, what a movie.
Yeah.
People now get to see Pete's face, though.
I know, guys. We're not hidden behind a paywall anymore. This is all for free.
This is what the third Cenobite looks like of the group.
Right.
Well, at least two of us don't have hair, so we're kind of in character. Nate, way to go.
Yeah, you two chatterers.
Pinhead didn't have hair. It pins. I can dress up for these, but I wasn't going through acupuncture just to show up.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that
tonight.
I also really wasn't wanting to have my flesh ripped off right before.
No, filet Nate is not something I need to see this evening.
That's no commitment, man. That's no commitment. I don't like that. You need to have better commitment. All right, so Hellraiser 2022 is what we're here to talk about tonight. Just came out Thursday at midnight, but Friday. I didn't watch it till Sunday night. And Nate, you watched it this weekend at some point?
I watched it Friday morning as soon as I woke up.
Oh, I
closed all the curtains. I tried to make it as dark as possible because I couldn't stay up to midnight to watch it the night before. Because you and I had just got done recording.
Yeah,
and
we did.
Then I was just exhausted. Recording, it tuckers me out.
That one was one that would tucker us all out. Yeah.
Pete
was there too. That was a fun recording. Everyone will get to hear that.
Can't wait for that one.
Next
Evil
week.
Dead 2 comes out on Tuesday.
Yep, Evil Dead 2. It's it was a lot. It was a lot. So Dan, how do we start this here? Because
did anyone watch the trailer of this before watching it? Let's start there.
Nope. I skipped it.
I do not watch. If at all possible, I don't watch any trailers. It's very difficult to miss photos online. Like you'll see an image here and there.
Yeah.
Even with all the Godzilla movies that I don't watch trailers for or anything like that, it's almost impossible to avoid at least an image. But I know when a trailer is coming up, and if it's something I want to see, I don't want anything to be spoiled. So this is not something that I wanted any advanced knowledge of at all whatsoever.
I'd say I went in maybe 90% blind because all the Cenobites were spoiled for me from the internet. Like when they released the pictures, it was all over Instagram. You couldn't avoid it. But I think all it did was intrigue me more of what are we getting ourselves into?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was only one that didn't get spoiled for me in this, but
maybe one or two. But for the most part, the main heavy hitters were all spoiled for me.
They've also been pumping this thing for a long time just because of the new Pinhead. So they kind of knew they were going to have to drop that image fairly soon just to get people to tune in, unfortunately.
Agreed. Yeah.
For a franchise that doesn't have a great track record, let's be honest, while there may be some good snippets I've heard from the most recent ones. I haven't even watched the last two, Judgment and whatever the other one was that came.
Redemption, Revenge,
or something like that. Yeah.
Rise,
19, Hell's Revenge,
Rise of Skywalker, something like that. I
Yeah.
don't remember what
Rise
one
of
it
the
is.
Razor.
Until this one, the first three are the only ones worth watching, and three's even dodgy.
Yeah, exactly. No, you keep saying that, but like
4.
you're wrong. So,
They go to space. 4.
Event Horizon did it better.
Hellraiser in space.
Now, I had mentioned in the group chat because I was trying to find Hellraiser Inferno, which I think is part 5. That's the one that Scott Derrickson directed. The guy that did the first Doctor Strange movie. I think he did the first Sinister movie. So I'm curious to see like what his outing is like. Like I've read that it's not bad, but it's not a good Hellraiser movie. It could have been better without, the Cenobites.
So I have up to, let's see, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see. So this is number 10, right? The new Hellraiser's technically
Sounds
10.
right.
So there's 9 beforehand, and I think there's only 2. J-Man likes 1 through 5 and Judgment. There were two. There's 2 or 3 that were not Hellraiser scripts. Period. But to keep the rights, they had to make a Hellraiser movie. So they grabbed a script that they felt was close enough, and they threw the Cenobites and everything into it. And quite literally, the movie it feels like that. J-Man says this is number 11. So there's 10 before.
Damn. Good Lord.
It's catching up to the Amityville.
It's only 29 behind, okay?
It's just 29 behind. But no, those, like, they're good movies if they left out the Hellraiser part. Like, they were really good, like, kind of mystery. One's damn near a noir, and it's absolutely fantastic until the Cenobites get added. And you're like, what is going on?
Sad.
It sucks.
Isn't there one where, like, Pinhead is in the internet? Like Hellworld or something like that?
Oh, yeah, Hellworld is something to do with the internet.
Like there's a video game or something?
That, or it's a website or something like that they tried to do.
They probably tried to do The Ring, but with the internet.
Very possible. That was a big thing there for a while. Look, man, just watch 1 through 4. Get to space, and you can stop. It's fine.
Right. What was exciting to me about this was it was directed by David Bruckner, who did the Succubus segment, Amateur Night, in the very first VHS movie.
Mm-hmm.
I Like You.
Oh, yes.
And
that very first segment in VHS.
Yeah.
That
he
was
also
good.
did The Night House, which like is a horror movie I cannot shut up about from last year that I absolutely adored.
This is true. He won't shut up about it.
It's on my list.
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't watched it either. Yeah.
It's not a kid's movie.
No.
What am I thinking of then? Anyway.
But he was involved. Clive Barker came back. He's a producer on this. There was a lot to be hyped up for. I mean, by all means, this was like, all right, we could have a return to form. We have a solid team putting this together. We have the original guy coming back. The casting is phenomenal. Like everything was like in its or in Hellworld.
Of course,
Superman is in it.
Lance Hendrickson came back for Hellworld. Wasn't he in number 3?
Look, man, I only watched 1 and 2.
It's
Hellraiser about this on our Hellbound episode.
He'll chime in a second. He'll tell me. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
But getting Clive back was exciting, right? Like that was the oh shit. What's gonna happen?
This was in like production hell, no pun intended, for a long time, like
10 years plus.
Just about. Yeah. They've been trying to get the next Hellraiser out with Clive attached. Like Clive has always kind of been in the shadows of it a little bit, waiting for the right person before he would like attach his name to it.
I want to say, wasn't it after 2 he was just like, I'm done. Like I think he just had such like trouble with the studios.
Well, he had trouble with the studios, but he also had trouble with how the people took the movies. You know,
Pinhead became the star, and that wasn't supposed to be.
Exactly. It wasn't it. And that brings up a good point that's going to come up in this movie. So I don't know how quickly you guys want to jump into talking about
I say
Hellraiser.
this is kind of like where we start talking about
Let's
it
go.
because
Game on.
Because that is actually my biggest issue. Is it doesn't remember Lance in part 3. Catherine Winnick was also in it. Maybe I've got them mixed up, J-Man. It's possible. I knew Lance was in one.
You also got sick brain going on right now. So, you got the brain scramblies.
I'm on the tail end of it, hopefully. We have Madeline Hess, The Witcher's in it, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry Cavill, yeah.
So Nate just said something that, kind of keyed in. He was never supposed to be like the Pinhead movie. It was never supposed to be like the new Freddy Krueger or anything like that. It just happened. It was such a look, such a way it looks that's you just follow the money. If
As
the people
our
are
friend
a fan,
Cody would say, it'd make you piss your pants when you saw him.
Very possible. Very possible. Yeah. Okay. J-Man's doing all the legwork for us on double checking my dumbass tonight. So they do this movie, and it's supposed to be like, it's not a reboot, it's not a remake, it's just a new chapter in Hellraiser. It is just its own thing.
It's another story following the box.
And then
yeah,
I think this is another unfortunate thing with the studios is they know they got to get some kind of hype, some kind of talk about it. So what do? We make a big deal about Pinhead, the new actress. I don't know the proper, I guess we're just going to say actor.
She's an actress.
It's she, her. Yep.
I'm also hearing this, their actor is turning into the major thing.
Yeah.
Like they're not even saying actress anymore.
Maybe.
Just know we're trying. Okay. If we slip up and say something, I'm sorry, but we are trying to make sure we cover all that. Anyway, so they made a big deal about the new casting to see this new Pinhead. And then this movie comes out, and to me, Pinhead's almost a secondary, almost a third type character. It is not who I was expecting in this movie. She almost has less lines than one other Cenobite in this movie. And I found that odd. It just kind of like, I thought you're like the priestess of hell. You're supposed to be like Leviathan, Pinhead.
The Hell Priest.
The Hell Priest, whatever. And I didn't get that in this movie. She looks phenomenal, and I'm getting this out of the way right now, boys. If they do a sequel, I best be getting some leather. I'm sorry. None of them having, not even one Cenobite having leather on, pissed me off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really?
I liked the flesh cape dress that she's wearing to make it look like her skin's flay. It was cool, but just one of them. There was like 8. Give me one in leather. But it really did bug me.
So to me, what I really enjoy was the new design. Like, it was the fact that like you get to see that all of them have these grotesque body modifications, and that was just like, this is Hellraiser for a new generation. I feel like it would be a great stepping stone when we were all real young watching Hellraiser being terrified. If I was real young watching this, I'd be terrified. Now I was just fascinated,
I think that's the other thing to take away from this. I'm now watching the movie, trying to take in everything, all the aesthetics, and I'm getting too focused on something. It's just like, why didn't you do that? Now I understand why. Now we can put some more effort in how they look, as far as, like you said, the body modifications. It's all full body. When they did it back then, it was, well, if we only show so much of their skin modified,
yeah, like you put the clothes on them.
Exactly. Yeah,
you got your leather and a mask, and
that
saves a lot of budget right there.
And like with this movie, with them having all, they were in their own just undyed skin.
That is terrifying and disturbing.
100% correct.
I love
the moment that Jamie Clayton comes on screen, and the first time you hear her voice and how cold and dead her eyes are as Pinhead, I was like, this is the new Pinhead. This is the perfect successor to Doug Bradley. And even he had nothing but wonderful things to say about her performance. And it's like, Yeah. I think this is one of those like rare moments where we actually got to see the passing of the torch done right.
I agree.
right.
I don't have any problem with her or this version of Pinhead. I'm gonna be that 40-year-old guy that loves his
No,
old movies,
now
and it's like, I need some leather. That's all.
there was
I don't get some leather.
there was one I had major issues with though.
Okay.
I don't know what her name was, but the one that had perfect teeth.
The one that does all the other talking.
Yeah. Like she had like perfect pearling whites and
Did she
like
gasp?
she was pretty sexy, and like I don't like my dirty pervert Cinnabites to be that damn sexy. It kind of weirded me out, and then I was kind of feeling weird at 9 a.m.
Yeah. I didn't like how much dialogue she had. I felt like
She talked quite a bit.
she does.
Mhm.
She had more exposition to things and more direct conversation with the victims as the movie went, that I was like, why was none of this Pinhead's lines? At least, she could have talked, but she needed like half of her lines added to Pinhead. That's where I kind of, that was my other like issue I was having, was that's the leader. That's, they even kind of push it like she is the center most Cenobite. All the other ones kind of arrive around her, or when they're waiting outside the mansion, you see just her, like all the other ones kind of fade off into the sides. So that's your point person. That's your point Cenobite. They need to be doing the talking. And she's got big shoes to follow. Doug Bradley will forever be Pinhead. And that man's voice and the way he commanded that role, just when he spoke, you're like, yeah, I'm with you.
That's the thing though. Like the moment Jamie spoke, I was just like, holy crap. Like,
yeah, I agree with Jay, man.
this is the way that like we need to do this. Now, do I have problems with the movie? Some. Well, I mean, what about you guys?
I do. This isn't going to be a glowing review. I'm not mad at the movie, and I definitely think this is way better than a lot of the entries we've gotten. But it's not going to be one of those like, this is better than the original two Hellraisers.
No.
There's not enough cod pieces in this movie to knock number 2.
Oh boy, when Leviathan was coming down, though, that's all I could think of.
Oh, it was nothing but
piece.
All right.
the
When
David
Leviathan
Bowie
came
thing.
down, it was one of those moments of like, holy shit, they're actually going there. Them showing the crazy labyrinth of hell. I wasn't expecting that from this movie.
Not that early in the movie. This is like in the first 10, 12 minutes.
Showing like the walls start to shake and then like the hallways opening up. That was all like, this is what the Hellraiser movies have been missing, for a long time. And then like the end where you get the giant shot of it coming down and then you get to see like all the stairway cases and stuff. It's like, this is Hellbound. Like, yes, you guys are getting it. Thank you. I really had annoyances with the characters themselves, though.
Yeah. So let's see. Before we jump into specific characters, I'll start with one of my first annoyances, which is basically at the beginning of the movie. Is it starts out amazing. It's just, we get the whole setup for the guy that has the lament cube. It's not in the cube, it's in the spire, whatever configuration it is that we
each
know.
one of those has a name. Yeah.
I didn't write them down. It's my bad. But we all know it makes the obulus. I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, first like 10, 12 minutes of this movie is fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It was everything I was hoping for. If it could have got going. I have one complaint about it. I'll save that one for a little bit. But then it goes into the characters, and I get we need backstory for characters. I didn't have a problem with their backstories. I had a problem with, I got bored.
Ooh, yep.
I got way bored.
That's where I was headed.
I got bored and annoyed.
Yeah.
I did not care for Riley. She drove me nuts. I get that she is an addict, recovering addict, and that, she's supposed to be redeeming herself. The problem was I didn't see any redeeming happening until like literally the last minute of the movie.
I don't even believe there's redemption at the end, though.
Yeah, like I just could not get behind her. And then when you're introducing the characters that surround her, it felt like mid 2000s like teenage horror movies where it's like you could picture this being on a Blockbuster shelf where it would say Hellraiser and it would have every character's head floating on the cover.
This was urban
That's
legend.
What I got. Yes.
Waxwork. Wrong
I still
Turn.
know what you did last
I know
summer.
what you did,
last summer.
Yeah.
It's like they just had a bag of characters, stuck their hand in and pulled it out, and there it went. You know what it is? It is almost a copy of the characters from the Evil Dead reboot.
I caught on to that too, because like you're doing the same exact thing of like the brother trying to take care of the sister. The brother was the only character that I truly liked.
CW, that's it right there. CW characters.
Yeah, they were all a little unlikable to a degree.
Yeah, like the brother was the only one
the only guy I gave a darn about.
Yeah, I rooted for, and then I truly felt bad when
his boyfriend
he hits his demise. Like,
yes, that was
just
terrible.
He's trying to help his sister out, and like he gets a
Being
bad luck of the draw. Yeah, just gets a bad luck of the draw of getting stabbed by the box. Which now
halfway through the movie, he's gone, and we're left with the other turkeys.
Yeah. And when you get stabbed by the box now, like it eats your blood, and then it eats you.
Right.
I do like the addition now to a more developed box.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I saw
how
people
it
complain
progressed
about that, and I actually kind of like having a box that it's a mystery box. It doesn't make any sense, so it's kind of cool that it turns into a rhombus or whatever and has more puzzles to it.
It's got 7 shapes to it or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
love, sensation, power.
Yeah, like all these
different,
like
what was there was
Lazarus.
Resurrection, Lazarus.
It was all L. It wasn't all L's, was it? There was a lot of them that were L's, like Lament, Lazarus, Love.
Yeah. Now,
somebody can look that up.
With the box having like different stages for each sacrifice, that does worry me for like a potential sequel down the road. Because it's like, oh, are we just going to go through like 6 people have to die each time in order to get your wish?
That is an issue.
That's one of the things that I'm worried about. Instead of like,
yep,
the box just kind of exists and then you solve it and then it screws your whole life up.
Well, look how easy it is to talk to God now, basically, which is the premise of the movie. You must go through all of this to get your audience with the Leviathan, the speak to God, to ask your one request. They did it twice in a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently it isn't hard now. There is no like major thing they got to, don't have to wait 200 years. You don't have to wait, anything like that. Or
like the doctor in Hellbound who is trying to get more people, more and more.
Yeah, he had like fake boxes. He had all these like plans. Like he's been working on it for like 50 years. There was a ton of backstory just in what was in his office. They never had to say anything. We just were able to put that together.
And that's just what makes me worry about. Like I didn't care for it too much of having like, oh, each person has to be a sacrifice and then you unlock to the next stage that you have to like, I just wish it would have been, you had to keep solving it. You just have to keep solving it and it changes to the next configuration.
Oh, come on, Jay, man.
Wow, boy.
It's a tough crowd.
Now,
look, man, I'm sorry that you're one and beat Kroll. I don't know what to tell you. Don't make me one of the 6. That's all I can say. So, no, I get that. I do. I don't know where they go from now. And it was like you could stab a stranger and you can stab a Cenobite and it takes it.
And to have Chatter go down like that, I was like, no.
Why they gotta do my boy Chatter so bad in these movies? I don't know why.
He was fantastic in this movie and terrifying.
I loved how his look was, where it was like cut at the shoulders with that like metal banding.
The low bite is 10 times more terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
He has no eyes again. Finally, instead of giving him eyeballs.
But like,
to be fair, the guy got hurt when he didn't have eyes.
Having the blood like rain onto him as he's slowly chattering, so disturbing. So gross.
It was cool to watch him die. It really was cool. But
it's great, and that was all practical. How they did that wasn't CGI.
I don't like the rule, though. Yeah, we'll say that.
I don't like the rule. That's the thing. Like,
this movie was
Because
done
now,
practical.
if I run really fast, because the Cenobites just walk everywhere except for one, I could just go and like stab them all really quickly. I just prison shank them.
Right. Or why do they not go, well, we just don't choose Chatterer? They chose not to choose Riley. She got stabbed, and they're like, well, we're going to wait. We don't have to choose you.
Well, I
So
think
why
that's
choose
more
Chatterer?
That's just them enjoying teasing people.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
They were getting off on that for sure.
There should still be rules in place, though. That made more sense to say, we stabbed you, but we don't have to choose you. Then immediately the next thing is, oh, now we can stab Cenobites, and they immediately, the box sacrifices them. That doesn't make sense to me. That's a messed up rule that breaks the other one. It's like, now you could potentially lose. I know they're probably in a hurry to let her get to her main quest, because they want her to pick something like power. This is one of those monkey paw things. What you ask for is actually going to be a punishment, not a reward.
You should realize that with the people that you're dealing with, do you truly think you're going to get like a nice reward? Do you think the sexy flesh ripped up monster is going to give you a really cool reward?
Maybe they can do a montage of 6 people getting killed really fast. Just go all the way through, and now we're just at the final. Plot armor beats all. You're not wrong, Jay, man. I mean, honestly, they can do whatever they want, and they can change the universe, and it's theirs to do. It's just, if you're gonna be like, yeah, yeah, you're not wrong about that at all. Wow.
Again, do you really think that person's going to give you really cool wishes?
Yeah. Somebody looked it up for us. Lament life, lore knowledge, Ladar love, liminal sensation, Lazarus resurrection, Leviathan. So I was right. I knew it was all L's, but they were like dumbing it down in the book for people to understand.
Thank you, Madeline.
She is on it. I love it
tonight.
Maddie's helping us out.
So I don't know. It was just a consistency thing with me, but I want to go back to, it was boring. It was boring. So what I did was I said, I've been sitting here today, like, how do I actually feel about it? Jackie asked me when we got done watching. She's like, so what'd you think? And I went, I have no idea. I don't know what I think right now. I say, it looked cool. Visually, it was a masterpiece. I loved everything aesthetically about it, and the fact that it was practical effects with a tiny little bit of CG. I love the end transformation of the main bad guy. Was they even kind of gave it a little bit of like that herky jerk camera work to look like the original Hellraiser, like stop motion work they did.
That, like that final kill.
Loved it. I loved that.
Chef's kiss to that.
But there was just
it was
nothing.
Extremely rough, especially like
suspenders.
Instead of like Hellbound, where it's like, oh well, he's getting his head drilled in and he's in a cardboard box, and then he comes out with David Bowie's dong holding him.
Or the other ones where a camera guy eats it, and now he has a camera in the side of his face. He looks like a Borg from Star Trek.
CD face guy.
Face,
I think I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
It was too long. Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
I was also bored with this is a bookend movie. That start and that finish were fantastic. That middle part really, really drags. It's mostly because we don't care about the characters. They're irredeemable for the most part. One completely throwaway character who was the roommate of the fellas.
She's just there.
She made tacos at the beginning. I'm like, hey,
she's just there to die.
That's just it's a red shirt. That's all it is.
She was totally a red shirt. Absolutely. We didn't need her at all. Although it was a hell of a kill.
Oh, great kill. That's the thing. When this movie does its kills, fantastic. It's just the fact that we didn't care for these characters. That woman that smokes that used to work for the rich guy, I didn't care.
I was like, why is she even back? What does that matter? We have no idea what happened to the other guy except for like a few articles. We're basically watching this girl go like Scooby-Doo trying to find her brother.
She's being Batman detective.
whiny
Sure.
Batman detective. She's being
Yeah.
Robin detective. But
Don't do
I
my
was
boy Robin like that.
I was really trying to sit because the easy like cop out would be like, well, there's not enough Cenobites. No, that's not fair because the
No.
original movies, there's not a lot of It's not the Cenobite movie, it's the Hellraiser movie. But the difference is the very first Hellraiser gave us everything with Frank and Julia. They kept us glued to the
As
story.
much as I hate Frank and Julie, yes.
That means they did a good job.
But
Yes.
just like his resurrection, him feeding, there was enough of this like holy shit moments in the first, because the first one's kind of long, but the reason it doesn't feel like it's dragging or slow is because you're like, well, that dude ain't got no skin. Well, that dude just reverse melted back together. Now he's eating people. Now she's turning evil, and you care because there's fewer characters. And then they're not even the heroes. We don't even really find out who the hero's going to be till like the last third of the movie. You know, with Christy. Is that?
Yep.
That sounds
Chrissy.
right. Yeah.
So we don't even know about like what she's going to do. She could have easily died in that movie and we wouldn't have cared, but she ends up being the final girl. This movie, it was just like J-Man nailed it perfectly. It's just like every CW stereotype, you know, the boyfriend. And I didn't care about that twist. I really didn't care about that twist of him being in on the setup, you know, with against
Yeah,
Riley.
like
that, like how long have
It
you
was
guys been
there.
setting that up? They've been how long have they been dating? You know, like, I think she even said like a month or two or something like that. I can't remember.
But like
But
Trevor has the strength of his father, so you know you gotta be careful with him.
yeah, and then it's like, oh, I know this place that you just happened to get kicked out of your apartment. I've been waiting for this moment for you to come ask me that you need money, and then we're gonna go and break into it. And now the plan can take off. If I was that dude with the thing in my chest, I'd be calling him every day, going, "We on? What's
Did
taking
you
so
find
long?
someone? Did you
Are we
find
doing it?
someone?
Where's
Why have
the
you
I
not
don't.
just taken the box out and started stabbing 6 random people, dude?
Yeah, I don't even care at this moment. Yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Exactly. They were despicable. And that's the thing. We didn't have like even the lady that dies, the smoking lady. I should have hated her. I should have been excited for her
I
to
guess we should
die.
have seen more of her doing despicable acts of setting people
Instead
up.
of just telling us that I've done terrible things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we get to see that she kind of intrigues our very first victim, which is a fantastic like show but don't show at all kind of thing, and like really sets that tone of like
I
what we get
was
ourselves into.
I was cussing the movie at that moment. Because I went, they're gonna do the prey thing to me again, and they're gonna do the kills in a blurry background because that kid dies in a blurry background.
He does, but like
and I was
hearing him
getting mad because
and the
this is
dripping,
Hulu.
oh,
The
my
dripping.
imagination was going wild.
The Foley in this film was
No, yeah,
chef kiss.
Hellraiser. I don't want to use my imagination. I want it all on the screen. All
This is
of
a setup. This is a setup.
Yeah.
No,
We're building towards a climax.
Yeah, we gotta build. You don't show the shark
You just don't
right out the gate.
You don't
She should have been
premature
like
gore anything, right?
she should have been watching. She should have been like somewhere like where we know she's fully involved, not just hired to go swap an envelope, you know, a briefcase of money for a box. You know, so I didn't care about her at all. And then she dies. And she kind of sacrifices herself, but doesn't. And I'm like, that's just weird. I liked her little segment of running through the like retirement place or the whatever you want to call it. It reminded me of Hellraiser 2, where they go back into the mental asylum and they're running around those corridors.
Definitely reminder of that.
There's a ton of more of from Hellbound more than even from the first one. I know that I think there was like I read that the smoker lady, when we first see her, is dressed up like Julia. They did her up to look just like Julia from the first one.
Yeah.
She's got that facial feature, the outfit, that's whole
where
power
like, I immediately
woman.
thought it's like, oh, this is gonna be our new Julia. She's getting the box for Frank, our Frank character, you know. Like
And that guy kind of looked like Frank.
Yeah, he did. Really did.
He also looked like the dad from I can't remember the name of that show with Al Bundy.
Married with Children?
No, the new show,
Modern Family.
Modern Family. He looks like the one dad from Modern Family.
Yeah, I don't remember the guy's name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I like, it was one of those, like, there's little subtle callbacks, and then it wasn't like in your face going, "Hey, remember the first movie? Hey, remember the second movie?"
This was like,
yeah,
it's a continuation story of that box. Like, you just
the story continues.
Yeah, like you didn't have to redo one or two. There's nothing that says that box can't find just new owners and find its way around. We're talking 30 years after those first two. Obviously, this box has traveled around, and it can become a thing of legend of like, hey, remember what happened in that small town? You know,
it was in space for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
it was.
How did it get back?
Well, the same way the Leprechaun got in space.
Okay.
Now I can't think why they didn't just grab 6 random. Yeah, that's it.
People don't think like I do when they're put in dire situations with a hell box.
Like a crowded sidewalk in New York. Stab, 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 stab. I win.
Do not go and stab 6 random people in New York. I cannot stress that enough. This is fictional characters in a fictional setting. I really need to make sure that my FBI guy that watches me understands this.
Do that in San Francisco. It'll be fun.
Oh, no, it'll be... God damn it.
But yeah, now I have no rules. Now it doesn't matter. There's no rules to it. Your only rule that you can now throw is it can't be 6 people in succession because it has to transform now. You know, they have to collect that soul, which now unlocks it. Okay, so what? 45 minutes tops between kills? I can handle that, man. That's a bus ride. It's cool. I can figure it out. But yeah, I like this movie. I want to put that right now. I did really enjoy watching this movie. It just, I have to care about the characters, even a little bit, just a little bit of a redeeming quality in anyone. Like, I should have cared about the brother's boyfriend. You know, he was more innocent than the brother and the roommate because he just cared. He was just like, look, we just got to go out and start looking for him. We got to start finding him.
Are the characters we should have cared about the most because they're just good people.
They are. You know, we're supposed to hate Trevor by the end. I got to be honest, I didn't really despise Trevor at the end. I feel like maybe that guy was holding something over his head. Like, you know, it's just, it was weird. It just didn't work for me on that. And the boyfriend got tortured the absolute most, more than Riley. I mean, really, he's the one that had to run through that house with like 3 Cenobites chasing him. He literally gets wrapped up in wires and the torturing stuff, like ready to take him. And then they like open the doors, and then they close the door, and then they open the door, and then they close the door. And this dude's down here like, just pick one. Either kill me or don't. I'm really getting tired of this.
That boyfriend got messed up by those razor wires.
Oh. He did. Modern Family versus the Cenobites. That's what it felt like.
But then, like, Trevor gets it even worse. Like, when we're actually seeing his skin get peeled, him getting degloved.
Yeah. But it took the whole movie before we really got to the really good payoffs, though. It was just, even the little kills in between, the brother dies off screen.
That was like, disappointing.
I was way disappointed with that. Like, I didn't want the brother to die, but if you're gonna kill someone in a Hellraiser movie, I want to see it. I want to see it all.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a situation like the first one where they take her father.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I thought they were gonna allude to.
Like they were gonna like trap the loved one, and they kind of play with that by copying his voice.
And this was at the moment where I still thought we were going to be doing more of like a remake because of not seeing anything or reading anything on it. I didn't really quite know where the story was going to go. And I was like, don't do like Hellbound 2. We're like, you tricked us one time, because that's still like the dumbest thing ever of like, well, the Cenobites got tricked and that's how they lost. Like, I did not want that to happen in this one. I was like, please don't let this lead up to they got tomfoolery, and that was it.
No, they still got tricked in this one. Poor Chatterer got tricked. I mean, he couldn't like
Chatterer got a raw deal, okay?
Yeah, he did.
He pushed the gate onto the people he's trying to get to. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know. It just didn't work, man. And the Riley had nothing. Like, I get she was an addict, and they started it out right. Like, I love the whole sequence of when she gets kicked out of the apartment, she goes to the playground. I was like, man, I'm loving the aesthetic. She's on the merry-go-round. Pinhead kind of shows up in one of the rotations.
Yeah.
She's, somewhat ODing on drugs, or at least a heavy dose. I don't know. But, so it's like, this is a dream state. Is it not? I was cool with all of that. But then she just turned into this neurotic, whiny child almost in this movie. And it just came to the point, like, if you would just listen to even if you would just listen to Trevor for like 30 seconds, I don't think half of this stuff would have happened. Like, Trevor's trying to get rid of the thing. So if he's setting it up, now all of a sudden, when I look back at this movie, it's like, did he have a redeeming quality? Was he, second guessing involving her? Because he tries to take the box away.
Maybe it's because as soon as he saw what it was doing, he's like, "Oh no, we really got to get rid of this." And he's so persistent.
Oh, you mean?
And he's like, "No, really, we should really like just go throw it in a pond."
Seeing the dude with the harpsichord shoved through his chest wasn't enough for him to say, maybe I shouldn't get involved. Maybe I should just walk away.
I want sensation, but then they give me this sensation when really I want my sensation to be like, really cool moments.
Can we buy Riley a hairbrush?
It's cool.
Yeah,
for hair.
I mean, she had a hair, but she had.
You ain't got time to comb hair when you got Cenobites chasing your ass.
Oh man. Nate, Cody has a question. Do I put it up here?
Yep. Yes, I want to see this question.
Okay.
Oh, well, see, we have to explain who Grim Cuddy is, but we don't know. So that's going to require the comments to let us know who Grim Cuddy is. Because that was our other Hulu monster movie that came out 3 days after Hellraiser.
Yeah. They were just dropping all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, we'll see what that descends into.
Where that leads to.
Yeah, we were kind of prepared for that. No, but I don't know, man. I was bored in between Cenobite attacks.
Bored. Like, the 2-hour runtime was long, but at the same time, I was just excited to have 2 hours of Hellraiser. It was a very conflicting feeling.
I didn't have 2 hours of Hellraiser. I had 30 minutes of Hellraiser and an hour and a half of CW. That's how I felt. Like, the end of this movie is phenomenal, and I adore the end of it. Like, once they get to the mansion and you realize that the guy's like hiding in the walls and is controlling things, I was like, someone's got to be paying that electric bill. That's got to be really high.
How did he eat? Like, how did he survive and like poop and pee?
My guess is he was basically immortal. So because he was able to get to that thing,
okay.
If he just dies, where's the torture? Where's the fun in the reward? So he probably didn't need anything. It was just constant pain and then that slight relief.
Okay.
And like they were saying, it's never the same nerve. So he couldn't go numb to it. It would change which nerve it was pulling in his body. And so it was just a constant. So he was just hoping for that last little, okay, that part's done. But every time was just agony. So if they die, what's the point?
I know you saw it, Charlie. Did you see it, Pete, of like when he is coming back together? Did you see that was all practical?
I was questioning if it was or not.
It's practical with some beautiful CG touch-up. But it was so they good. Literally, the FX artist, which I wish I could remember.
It had to have been stop motion though, right?
Russell something.
They did like 3 different torsos, I think is what it was, and like did different camera cuts. But like on their Instagram page, you literally can see it like start to come back together and like inflate.
I wonder if a lot of it wasn't reverse, like
which that's possible.
Yeah, pulled it apart, and then just reversed it to
It was more like a zipper effect, so as it comes apart and then it goes back together to form the spine and then everything come around it. It was I loved all of it. Now I do know some of that blood was CG. There was
it was CG touch up, but like if you follow Russell FX on Instagram, it's Josh and Sierra Russell are like sharing now all the photos and like the videos. and it's so cool.
Yeah.
And they were just on a podcast on YouTube that you can look up where it has a bunch of behind the screen scenes, like pictures and stuff. And like it's all of them just like, we want to make it, if it's Hellraiser, it has to be real, it has to be tangible. And like one of the funny things was, so I watched this, Friday morning. Friday night, I went and saw Iron Maiden with our buddy Derek, who we've had on the show, who is also a special effects guy. And it was great because Derek he hadn't seen it at the moment, but he was talking about, he's like, yeah, I didn't realize I had some friends that were working on that movie until after everything was starting to get like released, and then they could start sharing about it.
Oh, this had to be like completely hush. Not so much that they were doing a Hellraiser. It was just no one can see what which is weird because they damn near spoiled everything before people could even really watch it, or at least day of everything came out. And that's how we got spoiled of what all the Cenobites look like. And I think so I saw the one darker colored one that the thing I was not spoiled on was how its arm split.
Oh, so
I was like,
was he called the Wailing or the
Wailing or the
Weeper? I think that's what it was. Yeah, that was, oh man, when that happened, and so good. Just he split right down the middle of his fingers, all the way down his forearm.
It reminded me of
tentacle-y things.
Yeah,
what was that? Was it Benny in Total Recall, where he's the mutant and he unfolds his arm at the reveal with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and is like, instead of 5 fingers, he's only got like 2 like really long appendages.
I think
yeah. I think it's Benny, the taxi driver guy.
I just figured it was like more hands to put down your throat and like suffocate and pleasure you.
And then the one that I think I like the design the most, I think he only was on the screen like twice, and that was like the really flat faced looking one.
Couldn't quite
you could like
make out what was going on.
Yeah, was like missing this part of his head.
Yeah,
everything was like spread out here. My only thing was I couldn't stop thinking about the Rick and Morty episode with the Cenobites. And I swear to God,
the problem with this whole movie, I just kept thinking about these Cenobites being from Rick and Morty, and just like, pleasure, Jerry.
how bad Jerry is, and they're like, like
just
at least I'm not alone in that, because I kept going.
I forgot all about that. That's awesome.
Like that hole opens up in that one person's chest, and I was like, now a dolphin or a swordfish is going to come flying through it, because that's what Rick had through his chest. I don't know. This movie was fine. It was fine. I'll end up watching it again because now I want to really take in.
I'm excited to watch it again. Like, that was the big thing. Like, when it was over, it's like, I'm still excited to watch it again. I still think it's a good movie, even with its problems, because I enjoyed it. I am happy to have more Hellraiser again. I'm happy to have.
They're going to make it like this.
That brought up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They need.
There was more good that outweighed the bad for me. The bad just really annoyed me. Like, I try to keep hush hush on our Facebook group because my buddy Logan was like, how was it? And I was like, well, we have a worthy Hellraiser sequel, but I have some gripes with some characters. And like, I just didn't want to say anything yet because I want everyone.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah. And yeah, like,
sure.
exactly. I'll still see part 2 if they make it. Like, I have no problem with that. Like,
give me rules. If you're going to give me a sequel, give me some rules. Then I'm going to stand on that hill right now. I don't know. Cenobites are demons. Cenobites are otherworldly. They shouldn't be tangible unless they desire to be tangible. One got captured in a cage that I got so irritated with.
It's weird. Like, I like that Cenobite's design with like the flesh covering the eyes. Yeah, I thought that was creepy and effective.
The one that was forced in prayer.
Yes, the one that was chasing Riley and got caught
praying or something like that. Yeah, that.
And then it broke the bonds as it went. I thought it was
until it started to run. I was like, these guys are being so creepy, walking so casually outside, and him being so creepy, walking casually, that once it started to run, I was like, oh, like that kind of takes away from it. the mansion definitely had 13 Ghost
I think
vibes.
I wanted to talk about that too because man, I loved the aesthetic of what they did there with the cage, which is supposed to be like the barrier from the Cenobites. I was like, I really dig, and I can believe that because if they can be trapped within a cube, let's say that's what's holding them. He's just made like a really big cube,
and
that
it makes
can
sense
also
that
keep them out.
A ridiculous billionaire could afford such a thing and build such a thing,
Yeah.
and no one would question it because it's like, oh, he's into the occult. We already know he's into weird stuff. Like Voight's being weird again. No big deal.
Right. Well, speaking of 13 ghosts, that's exactly what they do to get away from one of the ghosts. Was they closed the door and trapped themselves in the corner of one of the rooms with a door in front of them, and that's what protected them. So that's what they did again with Chatterer before he bit it.
That's true.
So, but I aesthetically, I loved everything about the mansion. I loved, I liked the setting. It was always, just this dark, dirty city setting that kind of works. I don't know if they ever actually said where they lived. It could have been New York. It could have been
Yeah, I'm
upstate
not quite
somewhere.
sure. I mean, it felt pretty much like Cleveland.
Cleveland, Detroit, something like
I think
that.
it was filmed in Serbia, so yeah, Cleveland. Sorry, Cleveland listeners.
Sorry, Cleveland.
You're the Ohio.
The thing is,
guys,
I don't know what the budget was on this movie.
That's going to be the problem with these streaming movies. We're not going to know budgets, and we're not going to know box offices. We're not really ever going to know how well the movie did, because they can make a sequel. They don't have to say, oh, it broke all these records. And it's honestly not about a dollar value. It's about how many subscribers did they get? How many new subscribers?
How many people actually?
Traffic.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, this may be a little bit off topic here, but since we're talking about the streaming, it's one of those things that I keep seeing this whenever they're talking about it. Like, oh, Netflix is, they released this movie and it bombed. So they didn't get a bunch of new subscribers. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, but they still got how many subscribers? A million,
right.
they're there that are paying a monthly fee. Like, don't act like you lost money. You have money coming in every month from subscription. Same with Hulu, same with Disney. It's like, it's not like, oh, we need all these new subscribers because we're running out of the money you gave us. I give you guys money every month. I don't try to spin this to where it's like I need to feel sorry for you and go tell everyone to get it. It doesn't work like that. And it's a little bit of a soapbox thing, but it's that clickbaity kind of stuff where they're just like, Netflix is, losing billions of dollars. I don't think they did. I think they still have all the money I send them every month, and it's fine.
They got all three of our money.
Put that one up. Trapping Cenobites in a Cube is from part 4. Yep. The spaceship was a giant cube in part 4.
Screw it. Just make part 2 of this take place in space.
Yes. See, J-Man
let's
knows.
Just make it to where, the space horror comes back next. Let's make that a thing.
And that what J-Man's saying right there is something that we've said over on his stream too, is they're no longer making movies for us. No, they want new fans.
Yeah, and that's why I think this movie does perfect of like having a 12-year-old be scared the shit out of with these new.
If you're letting your 12-year-old watch Hellraiser, I think there's some parenting questions that need to be raised. I was not.
I don't know if my parents were the best at watching what I was watching.
At 12, that's about the time you're doing your first sleepovers, and if the computer's on and the login.
To me, this would.
I saw some pretty bad stuff.
I can see so much on this right now at any moment. So
I saw Chopping Mall way too early. But that was not my parents showing me. That was some other one's parents showing it to me.
No. But my parents hated Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
J-Man saw Friday 13th at 11.
There's another thing that I absolutely adore about this movie, though, that we didn't get to talk about yet.
What are you talking about? We got time.
The freaking score.
Yeah. The music was very good. There were a lot of callbacks, musical callbacks as well. Right?
Oh, when they play the Hellraiser theme, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
No,
that score is totally fantastic to hear it again. Like,
I don't think it matters which part it was, Jay, man.
I mean, that one isn't Jason, so I don't know if it counts.
That's not really Jason, right?
Yeah. Is that Roy?
Damn enchiladas. You guys still haven't rewatched that movie since we did that, have you?
Nope.
Yeah. No, I like the music, and it didn't have like the one popular song that's out now or anything like that.
I don't know. Like it has that great hellish feel to it, even without sounding sinister. Like there's something grand about it that really works.
Well, it's just kind of weird. You do things like that movie felt like really John Carpenter. That whenever it's a John Carpenter movie, or that movie felt really Wes Craven. This movie felt Clive Barker. I mean, you can tell that he was involved in it, which is probably why a lot of the other Hellraisers don't really click well, because it's just not. It's a property now. It's no longer a Clive Barker thing. Now it's this one.
I don't really honestly know the last thing Clive Barker's been involved with, movie or show wise. So it could be too of just like getting the rust off,
Yeah. And so I looked up the where they were getting like the I don't know what you call it. It's not really a sound bite, but they were talking to Doug and talking to Clive, and Clive's like, I love this new Pinhead. I'm gonna go write a new book. And everyone's like, Clive Barker's giving the new Hellraiser rave reviews and is going to go rewrite a book. And I was like, no, he didn't. He said this version of Pinhead is the best thing he's seen, and he's going to go write a book about this Pinhead. He didn't say movie. He never said this was the greatest Hellraiser movie. He never said this was a great Hellraiser movie. He said this depiction of Pinhead blew him away. Same with Doug. Yeah. Same with Doug Bradley. Yes. I love this version of Pinhead. I love what she's done. She's a fantastic actress, actor. Never did he say this Hellraiser was fantastic.
It's Jamie Clayton is why to watch this movie. Like,
yes,
so good.
She commands every time she's on, and it takes a whole hour for her to get on screen.
Hour and 20 minutes, I think, is what I read.
It took forever to the point where since I didn't see any trailers or anything, I was questioning, boy, is Riley going to turn into Pinhead? I thought this was like an origin story or something. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on. That was very distracting the first time I watched it. But
I think they're counting the like official like reveal of it, because I think she sees her when she's on the merry-go-round. When she sees Pinhead, but I don't think it was a.
But when she comes on the screen, she has that presence, much like
she takes over.
Doug
she commands
Bradley
it.
Did you just walked on the stage and everyone went, "Oh shit, we're screwed."
I loved her voice. I loved how she sounded. I loved her lines so much.
God,
so
her lines are so good.
I wanted more. It was missed some stuff here. Hold on. Roy killed more people than Jason, and there was better nudity. He's not wrong.
What I'm going tonight.
Yep. Boom Studio Comics. Okay. That's where Clive went, I think. Christy.
I know it's one of the bad sequels. Christy comes back as well. I don't know if it's the same actress.
She maybe comes back, but I don't think she comes back as Pinhead.
No, I think it's like in 6 or something she comes back.
So J-Man, Boom did, they did. I had some of the old Marvel ones back in the 90s. And they were these big, thick graphic novels that you could not get at the grocery store.
No.
And
what's that called? Hellraiser?
Yeah,
no. Not at Kroger.
They were uncomfortably beautiful. I remember reading them and going, do I like this? It's gorgeous. And I
don't remember which Hellraiser comics I've got. I feel like I got something floating around here.
Yeah, I used to have a bunch of the old ones, and I thought they were cool, but I don't know. I couldn't quite wrap my brain around it. It's probably
same actress comes back in Hellseeker.
See, I knew she came back in one of them. That's not as good of a Motorhead song, though.
Yeah, they're the graphic novels are.
You know how mad I am that I can't just play that song right now as we talk about Hellraiser.
Everything just like we would lose everything.
Well, I can play it live, but it probably wouldn't upload it onto the channel. And so
it would mute all of us. It could do that too.
All of a sudden it's just we're gone, and then we come back. That was an awesome song.
Yeah, Jay, man, those Marvel had something to do with those a long time ago. I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Clive's always been. I mean, he also did the movie Nate wants to cover, and I swear to God, I don't know how we're going to be
Better
able
not
to
say
cover it.
Footloose.
I do
No.
want to cover Footloose.
Stop
but
that! Stop that right now!
Nightbreed, the director's
Nightbreed.
cut.
I'm down with Nightbreed. That is another Clive
good mask.
Barker. It is a little long.
Oh, it's way long.
It overstays
The
its
director's
welcome.
cut, I think, is 2 hours. 2
It
hours
doesn't
and 10
need to
minutes or something.
It does not need to be. It's I think I watched that once. I'm going, please get on with this movie. That one bored the heck out of me. The director's cut.
But to the aesthetic of that movie, just like
very
this
cool.
one, is just it's fantastic.
The monsters were awesome, just so good. Such language.
Love some Nightbreed.
Footloose, you stop that! Stop
Gets
that!
it. They get it.
Smart got an alias now.
Maybe.
That ain't that.
Who is Schmecky?
Yeah. Who is Schmecky 2818?
Who are you?
There are 2,817 other Schmeckies out there.
There are. All that want to cover Footloose as well on the show.
The Schmicky verse. Oh man. I need to I got to get like clips and stuff I can play on the live stream like J-Man does, so I can have like no Footloose and just put the clip of Saw with the guy cutting his foot off. It's the only Footloose allowed on the show, man.
Ew. I like that.
See? Kinky. Oh man. Well, let's do this then. Pete, what's your overall thoughts on Hellraiser 2022?
I think it hit 3 out of the 4 marks. It had the gore. I thought it had a pretty good story. The music was great. It was the actors I had a problem with, and they're the human actors, I should say.
Yeah.
They were
regular human actors.
They were pretty vanilla for actors, and just didn't give a rat's ass about any of them, quite frankly.
Now, are we going to do machete ratings?
I was just asked about what I thought. So this isn't a rating. I just thought of the 4 beats in a movie, I think it hit 3 of them really well. I suppose if you go 5 with a cadence, it started hot, kind of hit the brakes for about an hour, and then ended hot.
Yeah. Okay. Nate, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm right there with Pete. My thing is just the Cenobites. Like, the Cenobites were so awesome for me. Like,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, like this being a fresh take on them. Like, I loved their designs. Like, I loved the way they moved, the acting to them and all, except for that beautiful smiling teeth one. She has my heart. I didn't know that was going to happen. It's really weird. And I got a lot to dig through in therapy next session.
That's 2. That's Kate Beckinsale and
Doc. I met a girl.
Yeah, I met a girl. Problem is, she wants my soul. It's not good at all. But these teeth. I didn't know I had such a teeth thing. Turns out it's all the rotting flesh removed around it. Makes them really pop. You see.
No,
really
but no love for why her and not Chatterer then? Damn it! Come on, man.
No. But yeah, it was Riley annoyed me a lot. That was the problem with my movie, or with this movie. Was just all the characters except for like the brother and the boyfriend. Those 2, I was just like, you guys should just like move to Ohio. This would never happen in Ohio. So like, just move here. We don't have shipping containers, you know? But like when I talked to Derek when we were waiting in line, like, I was just like, I liked it. Like, it was exciting. It gave me a lot. Like that final kill with Voight and him just getting peeled is so grotesque. Yeah. Like, that's gotta be one of the most recent gruesome things in horror movies, you know? So I feel like a lot of that makes up for its shortcomings.
You brought up the Voight thing. We never even talked about that for a second. Was he went for power, and the whole monkey paw thing was, now you're power for the Leviathan. You are now
the battery.
You're basically a battery, and it's like, it's not the power we perceive. It's the power that they're willing to take from you. And I was like, that's some deep shit in the last like 30 seconds of the movie.
I thought that whole final speech by Pinhead was powerful too. Like,
yes,
Riley had to choose, and she chose to live, which is a configuration.
Yes,
it's the lament configuration. It's
with guilt.
You have to live with guilt for the rest of your life.
You are suffering all these people's deaths.
Yeah, your suffering has just begun. The teeth gal says, gasp or whatever.
Yes. So like, even the pointless roommate that we talked about, like her death is phenomenal in the back of the van, and just like the chains hitting her, and like the way that they bend her back and everything, and like every kill on this could be our kill of the week.
It's
truthfully, like this wasn't one where like like none of them are like weak. It's like every single one of them is extremely strong at what they do, and they're very impactful.
Right.
And like I've never shied away. Like I love Hellbound way more than the first one because of how much I hate Frank. You know.
Wow.
Like I talked about on our episode, like, but I still appreciate one a lot. And like, it's the same thing with Prey, where I'm like, this is for the new generation. And I fully love that. I'm fully on board with it. Give us, if we can't keep retreading as like actors are getting older and older, like, let's face it, Robert Englund's never going to be Freddy again. But if we can get a passing of the torch like this, I'm all for it. I'm all for having it to where 30 years from now, there's other kids that are doing exactly what we're doing, but it's all in our minds,
Faculty happy.
Well, it's because aliens are always going to happen in Ohio. That's like the one thing we got is aliens.
And Bigfoot.
Yeah, and Bigfoot.
And Mothman.
Claim to fame.
Yeah, Mothman.
That's I thought West Virginia was Mothman.
Well,
the bridge. It's that Ohio, West Virginia,
Ohio
River Valley area.
That's kind of what I gathered at the end of it too.
See, that's my thought, but man, it didn't seem that way when Voight died at the end, man. I don't know. Maybe that's where they go. Maybe they delve more into the lore of the Cenobites in the sequel. As much as
when they're doing their 9 to 5 in the office and they're wearing their ties and they're talking about, what souls did you get today? I don't know.
Yeah, they're talking about vacations.
They're talking about vacations, how they can't wait to go to Maui.
That's it, man. Well, they got to get tan.
You got sunburnt.
Yeah, but it peels something fantastic. He was transformed. Yeah. And that's the thing. Nothing dies. Now that just makes me even more mad that they sacrificed Chatterer, because
he'll come back.
Where's he gonna go? Ohio?
All died in part 2.
It's
that's what happens when you die as a Cenobite. You get sent to Ohio.
Oh,
explains Pete's hairline. There we go.
I have no hairline. What are you talking
exactly. We're gonna be like podcasters, but these are gonna be like our ears turned inside out.
Yeah.
Oh, podcaster Cenobite. That's
podcaster Cenobite.
What a boring Cenobite.
Yeah. Like, you are not scary.
This movie wasn't good enough for me.
Would you please stop that? I have such sounds to show you. It's like, no, please, please, you're not scary. Please go away.
Now listen to this sound bite.
Nate pulls down the flaps and he's got microphone nipples.
Would you like to come on a podcast?
Would you like to be a special guest?
funny,
okay. You're busy that night? That sucks.
Part-time job.
I'll get you the next time.
Like, yeah, I like that. Smash that bell, indeed. Smash that bell. Get them notifications. Oh my God, man.
Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Blah blah blah.
Everybody subscribe. Is that what we're supposed to do? This is new for YouTube.
Do you want to like and subscribe to my channel?
Ooh, ring that bell.
Ring no. I'm getting a really bad internet connection.
The comments section is now called the chatter section.
Yes.
Our literal chatter box. God. Do you guys want to rate this? Do we want to give it numbers?
I do. I want to give it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pete, give us a number.
6.5.
Fair.
I want to go. I want to go 7, but boy, that middle just slowed so much down.
Hour and a half. Yeah, could have done it.
Give me 90 minutes, and I think this is a solid 7.5.
Maybe an hour and 40, 45. Like, but that'd be pushing it.
So I got 6.5.
What about you, Charlie?
Oh,
Pete Slay.
Pete Slay. God, I want to give it a number, but the Cenobites make it higher just for them. Because if I look at this and go, remove the Cenobites, this movie sucks.
I mean, you do that with any of the Hellraiser movies, though.
Not the first one.
Well, second, they're only in it for like 6 minutes. But
yeah, so there's a story in the first one that is intriguing and horrific. The second one, if you take out the Cenobites, there is no movie because they're so ingrained into how that one goes.
Yeah.
This one is, I still end up with over an hour of a movie without the Cenobites, and it's not a good movie. I'm going to give it 5.5. I'm with you guys. If I could do it just on the Cenobites and the aesthetic of how this movie looks, it would be in the 7-8 territory, or shortened it, or done something where I cared about the characters. You know, I would have gone a little higher, but if I take out what sucks, or what's good, there's no movie left. And it's 5.5.
Nate?
Well then,
hit it.
I'm gonna be the outlier here and give it a 7 out of 10. Like, I still like. I enjoyed it. Like, I really did. Like, I had more parts that I loved than I disliked. Like, that much is for sure. Like, the dislikes really bothered me. They did, but in like what we got out of it, and just like how much blood and how much gore, and not like the story, not there at all. And I'm not one to usually rank something on just giving me blood and gore. But when it comes to Hellraiser, it's just, this is kind of what it'll be. You know, kind of what the best I think that we could potentially get right now. But I think what they can do is see what worked and what didn't, and then that's where we get a stronger sequel. You know, I feel like we can only go up from here.
It's a strong return for the franchise that has been plagued with
a big part that's
hitting me films for a very long
with my
time.
rain too. I mean, granted, it's like, yeah, you're like literally jumping over just a pile of shit. Like that big pile of shit from Jurassic Park. You're just
big
jumping over that.
Pole vaulting over a pile of shit.
And that's what you're getting. But I like it for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this was what this franchise was going to have to do, was basically a hard reset to get away from everything that this franchise really set the bar at 1 and 2 to a point that probably
it never could live up to itself.
Could never achieve again.
I respect that this movie didn't try to just redo those two, but I also think that the movie didn't necessarily bring much new to it. So like the lore that it did bring new, I didn't really care for, but I'm curious to see where it goes as well.
I think the natural progression that I think what I want now is I want lore. Now I want to know what drives the Cenobites. What is the Leviathan? What is all of that? You know,
and that's where you could get like a Hellbound where they go into the labyrinth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care if they kind of go back with a prequel, because if we call it a hard reset, then you've now established that they can at least come up.
You have someone else find the box somehow, some way. Riley loses it, or someone breaks into her house, whatever. But I just think there's enough here.
Yes, Madeline.
Yes, make a copy.
I want a copy of that journal.
Yes,
that was awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was right there
pause it and read all that stuff.
It's right there with like the Necronomicon, where
Yeah.
you want to just see every page of what's going on. Another thing I probably wouldn't be upset with this type of movie is going the way of like heavy metal, where every movie is just a different telling.
Yeah,
just a
please.
different
That's just different stories. That's what's great
possibility.
about this. And like, keep Jamie Clayton, for the love of God. Like, that's another part of my rating being so high, is like, she was phenomenal in this movie. And like, every Cinnabite I was just eating up. Like,
well, they're what gave it 5.5 for me. That's how bad the rest of the movie was for me. Was they elevated it up that much that's what I love.
The Cinnabites do, like, in these movies. Like, yeah, part 4, it takes place in space, but at least it has Cinnabites. You know,
it's not all in space either. It does go back in time. Yeah, I
feel
said
like
it.
you're the only one that really remembers 4. Trust me.
Hey, man remembers it.
You know what I'm pissed off about is the fact that, like, these all should have been streaming on Hulu. That way, if I wanted to go back and forth and watch them, I could. And the fact
how do they not do that?
Yeah,
that doesn't
they're
make
all
any
on
sense.
Cinemax right now. Did you know that Cinemax has a streaming platform? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Like, Tubi's got a bunch of them.
Tubi's got one, and it's got the 2 that don't have Doug Bradley. And I think it's got part 2.
The Judgment and Revelation, or something like that.
I just saw a couple of them on there.
Doug Bradley
I own
Cinemax.
The movies as a fan.
Of course you own them. Of course,
I own these movies. So I can watch them. But I do agree. Like, I would just like to go.
I would rather it just be streaming, because I don't want to spend money on them. I don't. And I don't want to go to the library, Pete. I don't. Not for these movies.
Library.
I never want to go to the library.
I don't want to go to the library for Hellraiser.
Libraries for nerds. I said it.
You know the weird stuff I get on the library?
It's the embarrassment that I'd be like, oh, I'm going to check out Hellraiser 6, Hell. And I know that's due back in 28 days or something like that. I don't want that librarian to look at me and be like, oh, God, he's back. Oh, God, he's not even getting the Hellraiser movies in order. Why is he doing this?
Pete's on a list. That's all there is to it. You know he is.
I'm certainly on their list.
Oh,
you watch this cat when he walks in and out of here.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. Yeah, part 4 shows the origin of the
That's
box.
cool.
And it really is a cool backstory. That's kind of where they got so far away from the lore that I want this new, like, hard reboot to have their rules now. Just give me rules. Oh, yep. That's smart.
Yep. That's actually,
That's smart.
Pretty accurate.
15 times at my store before
and
the
then he
owner
sold you.
it.
That's great. Probably because you wore it out, J-Man.
Yeah.
He sold it to him at full price too. He's like, I didn't make any money off this.
Actually, I just don't want this guy to return, because he keeps renting Bad Taste. So, like, if I just sell it to him, he won't come back.
He won't come back.
That's on Tubi right now too. Oh. All right, boys. Well, any other thoughts on Hellraiser? Any other thoughts on anything else? What we got going on? So today just came out Underworld. So the
Underworld
action
episode
side
came out. So thank you for listening. And if you haven't, go check it out.
Yep. And next week will be our Evil Dead 2 as we continue our spooky season.
And then we lead into End
of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we still have our secret special episode dropping on Halloween, not our normal Tuesday, dropping in a day early. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's not what you expect, but it is. It's that probably the best way to look at it. Yeah,
it's gonna make sense. Halloween Ends comes out Friday.
It does. Is it going to go streaming, or is it going just
It's going to be in theaters and on Peacock.
I'm not getting Peacock. Can I pay just to rent it?
No. You just spend the $5 for 1 month of Peacock.
I'll get it from the library when it comes out.
I'm not.
I might go see it. I might. Now, I also will probably watch Grim Cuddy on Friday.
Very possible.
I'll try to watch it tomorrow, actually, Cody.
Madeline found us out. Oh no!
Foot loose.
Not happening. Not happening. Yeah.
Go see Pearl. I cannot recommend Pearl.
I haven't even watched X yet. I
You
need to
gotta
watch
watch
X.
X.
Oh,
Let me
watch
guess,
that.
it's on Peacock too, isn't
Oh,
it?
I got it at the library.
Yeah,
I
you get it
ain't
at the library.
going to the library, Pete.
I bought it.
Not to
bought it
mention,
blind.
I don't know if my rural ass is going to have a
Probably
library
not.
that has X.
We
Hey,
we
can
have
I
one
rent
of
the porn horror movie that just came out?
X.
Just one X. I'm not a deprived.
I don't want the other two X's.
just the one. We are afforded one of the greatest library systems in the country here in Columbus, Ohio. It is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Me,
I just don't want to rent Hellraiser from because I'll feel bad. I'll feel awkward.
I can get the
They want you to
Never-Ending
use the library. Use
Story.
the library.
Boycott the libraries.
No, don't do that. Do not listen to this man.
I still gotta watch Hellvan. I need to watch that.
Yep.
I need to look that one up.
I got it at Horror House.
Oh no, they never
Got a
did.
van from hell.
Oh no.
I'm telling you, he's on a list. There's a picture of him somewhere in the back.
I walk in with a nice big hat and glasses on. They don't.
Oh, you walk in looking like the Unabomber, only making things worse.
I was gonna say Nacho disguise. Nate went Unabomber. Well, YouTube just flagged this video.
This is the one time that I decided to go to like the library to rent Hellraiser 7, the Hell Reckoning, and then it's like the cutest librarian ever, and then she's like, "Oh, nope, this dipshit gotta
You're
go
off the list.
You're revoked. I'm taking your card and I'm putting it into the shredder." Oh God, Pete's back.
we don't even use librarians. They just, you pick it up and you use your card. You check yourself out.
It's self checkout at the library.
Need human interaction. I'm trying to get out of the house.
Then go to the library.
I need to go to your place. That way we have a night out and drink.
Let's go. Do it.
We need to do it. We haven't done it yet.
Hold on, J-Man, I just did something. Oh. Keep talking.
Oh,
Slide.
keep talking.
You were going to press the thingy that with the thingy.
We may have said that this is a deeply flawed film. It is, but go see it anyway.
Still watch it.
It is a strong rekindling of this franchise. I think this could be the start of a beautiful new horrific murder boner sort of thing.
Let your 12-year-old watch it.
Sure. Yes. Just
don't let your 12-year-old watch this.
12-year-old. Here, little Johnny, watch this. Don't tell your teachers.
What's wrong with you two?
Here, Johnny, you're ready to become a man.
I said talk about. Oh my God! Now I'm clicking all kinds of stuff. What is wrong with you two? You're supposed to continue the conversation. Us free
reign.
I did. I turned my back for 10 seconds.
What? You know what? Kids are growing up at a faster rate. 9-year-old.
I have a 10, a 13, and a 16-year-old.
Well, we know the
10-year-old
10-year-old wouldn't dig it because he's terrified of horror.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not into it.
But your daughter's gonna love it.
Yes, indeed.
That's it. Yeah, we're looking at
the group chat.
Oh wait, our group chat, is that what Cody's talking about? Son of a bitch.
So I have to look at the stupid.
No,
I'm not doing it.
It's in our private one.
Yeah. I'm not doing it.
This is video, Cody. I can't show this so people understand what we're doing. God. Chaos with my friends. I got rid of it. The video store didn't care.
Ooh, that's a good video store, Jay, man. We had somebody had a video store outside of their garage, or no, I'm sorry, in their garage in the middle of a cornfield somewhere. It's totally creepy to go to when I was a kid. Nice. And they had the worst movies. Like they had all the bad ones.
Thanks, Madeline. Madeline's got her back.
It's funny. I remember like never getting carded, but I do remember when seeing Rob Zombie's Halloween the first or second time in theaters, getting carded and then getting carded at the door as well. So I got carded twice.
Really?
Like buying the ticket and then getting to like outside of the theater door and like going to walk in, they card you again.
Here's my old ass story. I got carded for Terminator 2. And I brought my girlfriend to. And my girlfriend, I was 17 and she was 16 or something. And they wouldn't let her in because she wasn't 17 or something like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wouldn't let her in. We had already paid for our tickets. They said, no, we're not going to give you a rebate or refund, but you can't come in.
I had bad facial hair back then. I didn't know how to grow a beard. Didn't know how to upkeep.
I don't know how to grow hair, period.
It didn't count that you were old enough to watch the movie with her as the adult?
No, they were. This is
usually the Guardians like they have to be 21,
Ohio,
I think.
Single screen theater. They were real assholes.
Time cop. I don't think I've ever been carded at a movie theater. I don't.
Well, it's because you've always been 7 foot.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah, so like
you're not wrong.
They're not gonna card the Jolly Green Giant. Like, why would they?
See this since birth, baby. That's
if
all
anything, they probably thought it was like 3 kids in a trench coat.
He came out of the womb with a beard.
And they just didn't want to deal with that on the day.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a lot of it too. Is they just didn't care. It's like I don't care. Go. So time cop in theater.
I get why he got carded for that because the moral of the story is don't touch yourself.
Never. What?
Yeah, it's the moral of the story of the Time Cop.
Oh my god!
You touch yourself, you melt. That's back when action movies used to have a moral.
It was live, man. This just goes out.
Yeah.
There's
no editing this.
There's no safety net with Charlie editing Nate. This is Nate, pure, unadulterated,
100% raw.
Yeah, if you touch your Scott, J-Man, don't fuel him. God. Well, guess what? We're doing Time Cop.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening.
Oh boy.
We do have a Van Damme movie coming up that we can swap if we decide.
Oh, we do have a Van Damme movie coming up.
It's a tough one, though. I like the one we're getting ready to do. Also touching involved in that one.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Is that supposed to be there? You'll get that when you watch the movie again. All right, guys, we're done. We're done.
We done?
We're done. I'm done. I'm done with this. It'll wait 2 months before we do another live stream. It'll be fine.
No, I mean there's got to be something coming out in November.
Well, I know we did talk about potentially doing Bullet Train when it comes out on DVD.
Oh yeah, that is supposed to be coming out here soon.
I watched it in theater. That's why I'm pushing for that one. It's fantastic. And I think both of you guys would love it. It's just goofy, zany action fun, like movies should be sometimes. And I want the 4K. I want the best possible version of it. No. Madeline, okay. I was singing your praises a minute ago.
Maybe we should do a live commentary.
I am not talking about Predator for like the next 2 years. Nate wants to talk
about Predator.
I am done. All right. I am burnt out. I have said everything I could possibly say about Predator. I'm done.
What about Predator 2? Can we talk about Predator?
I don't even want to see a Predator.
Well, don't look in the mirror. Anyway. Oh, man. Oh, we're done. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh, but can you beat Grim Cuddy's ass?
There's a question.
Yeah. Actually, I want to know that. Yeah. Can you beat up Grim Cuddy?
Oh,
if Cody. I keep saying his name, does he appear?
One more time.
Is that how that works? Yeah, one more time.
Grim Cuddy.
There you go.
My door is shut and the lights are off, though. I don't really know what's going to be on the other side.
What's behind you, Nate?
Oh, man. Good. If Cody can't beat Grim Cuddy, you know you can't mess with him.
All right, boys. Are we done?
I think we're done.
We can say goodbye to everybody.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the live stream. Chaos as always, but what live stream isn't? So check us out on all the podcast stuff: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, where we're at right now. And whoever's watching on, we're streaming right now on Facebook too. So if you're watching from there, thank you. That was the first time we tried that. Yeah, so went good, and we will let you guys know what we decide for the next one. And
check out the Evil Dead 2 episode when it comes out
next week. But right now, go check out the Underworld episode that's out right now. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. As soon as I find my buttons.
Now, let's talk
Go
about
listen
how
to
I
Good
get
Beer,
back
Bad
in the
Movie
game.
Night.
Good Beer, Bad Movie Night.